Mistake number 7. Our website looks great. Right? Who's got a website already? Me too. I own my website. I own myname.com. There you go. All right. Is that a marketing strategy? For some people it is. Some entrepreneurs think that a website and a Facebook page are a marketing strategy. It's a bit like we were saying earlier, that social media have made it a bit easier to make some of these mistakes. Well, I'm sorry, folks, but the bad news is it's not true. You know, a website and Facebook and Twitter, they're all great, but they're not a strategy. They're tools to implement a strategy. But what you need is a marketing strategy. Right? And I think some of the new tools and techniques, I see this again quite frequently in business plans. People say, oh, well, we've got a web page, and we're going to set up a Facebook, and we're going to use LinkedIn. And okay, now tell me your strategy. That's my question. They focus on the media impressions and page views, not real customer contact and acquisition and conversion. So what I ask of people when they talk to me about their marketing, I say, well, you know, what do you know about your customer? You know, people say, well, we're going to establish a Facebook page. Well, how many of your customers are on Facebook, and what is their profile? Have you done any demographic analysis? What are they doing on Facebook? Oh, we don't know that yet. Well, then why are you doing Facebook? What's the Facebook? What's the strategy for Facebook? I love Facebook. We're all on Facebook, most of us. If you don't know the answer to those questions, then what's the rationale? What's the reason for the Facebook page? And they say, well, we're on the web. We're going to have a web page. And I say, well, what do you know about the web patterns? What's the web behavior of your users? And then after a few questions, you realize that really their demographic is really on mobile. They're using mobile devices. They're not on the web anymore. Yeah? So that's the sort of thinking that you need to dig into in developing a marketing strategy. It's really got to be based off your knowledge of the customer and the market. And then you decide, what are the tools, what are the techniques? That's my advice. So, get close to your potential customer, and often. That's been a recurring theme, hasn't it? You know, get out of the building, get to know the customer, yeah? And drive your marketing and sales channel management through deep customer relationships. It's not the other way around, or at least the two things go together. It's developing and understanding a relationship with customer that will help you understand how to reach them, how to sell to them, what is your customer acquisition strategy, and it goes around in that way. And use entrepreneurial marketing. I love entrepreneurial marketing, like buzz events, social networks, free media. Use them as much as you can to implement the strategy that you've developed. And then you'll know which ones are going to work for you. It was interesting that you may recall that during the life of Steve Jobs, Apple did almost no advertising, especially in the second period of his time at Apple. No advertising. And grew it to be the largest company in the world at the time of his death. That's just, I mean, Apple gives us all these examples, but that's a really interesting, that's a very interesting observation. And they did it because they understood their customers and they were developing such loyal relationships with customers. And marketing would have actually damaged the relationship. My guess is that's what Jobs was thinking.